Today, from Commander's Field in Landover, Maryland, this is Madden Football on EA Sports. As we'll see Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders versus Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets.
Commanders Field holds a little more than 80,000, and they have come out in droves here in Landover, Maryland. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's the kicker, Zane Gonzalez, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Commander's Field. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I remember watching him in college and seeing a guy that you knew had great potential, but I don't know that anyone knew that we would see how he would blossom as an NFL player who will go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Can make every throw from every angle with terrific mobility, and he knows how to win games, always in contention for a championship.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. How about Jonathan Allen there pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line?
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Over the middle, complete. It's Hall. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that's going to make it 4th down. And now a decision here on the opening drive. 4th and very short, this part of the field. What do you think they do, CD?
I think you go for it. I think there's a lot of game left to be played. I like the advantage that they're trying to create here early. I say be aggressive and try and get it done.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. 1. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Will McDonald there on the tackle.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
A throw over the middle, taken in. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now Daniels. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs, even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Hall on a give up the middle. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Here's Rodgers to throw. He'll get this to Lazard. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On first down, Rodgers. He dumps this one off here to Hall. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Ball again on second down. Gets around him. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Here's Hall again. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson from 13 yards out. And the Jets get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense too.
That's a great point, because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And Garrett Wilson capped things off with a touchdown grab. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. McCaffrey on the return. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Commander's going to retake the field for drive number 2. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out there, a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go. And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players and somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now here's a throw that's complete. Able to corral him right at the midfield stripe following that sparkling display of footwork we saw. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good for a Washington first down. We often give credit to the O-line there. Two tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Okay, ready?
Back to Robinson now on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. To the air goes Daniels. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. To throw is Daniels. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. And the Jets will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Straight ahead is Hall. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Ready, break.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And not much there at all, as he'll get this only up to about the 11. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Off the play fake, Daniels. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards the play.
This is all about finding the open space in the middle of the field. How do you do that? One way is through play action. That's going to freeze those linebackers for just a split second, and sometimes that's all you need. They run a deep in route behind them, and it works to perfection.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A give left side to Robinson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. DJ Reed, who played in college at Kansas State, made the tackle. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches have given him, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here.
Well, that's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on first down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got 3rd and short.
Daniels looking to throw. Escape, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Will McDonald gets in there to take him down.
But you just knew that these rushers were eager to do that today. Put him on the ground. Their plan, introduce themselves individually to this rookie quarterback. They said hello in a big way there with a loss of double-digit yards on that sack.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Rodgers now on 1st down. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
Well, they'll come up 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play back upwards a yard.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on third down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. First catch of the game for Adams, and he's got a first down.
A gain of 15. First down, New York.
Throwing is Rodgers. Here's back-to-back catches for Davante Adams. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
Back to the ground with Hall. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. Ball again. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Rodgers' throw taken in by Adams. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 2 yards to go on third down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
The Jets on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run with Hall. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal. This from 36 yards out. Zuerlein's kick is up and through. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10.
Come on. Hey, Mikey, 18.
Here's Daniels. Steps away to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down.
As we both know, there's a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Throwing now is Daniels. That is incomplete.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Now a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at 148-yard line and ended at the other. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They go play action. Daniels. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Robinson up the middle. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fair catch taken right at the 10-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Breece Hall helped leading out this offense for another series. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
2nd and 10. To throw is Rodgers. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's a give to Hall. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? A handoff for Hall. And he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Washington going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. On 1st down, here's Daniels to throw. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. Robinson on a give right side. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Looking to throw. Daniels. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the 2nd quarter. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Pulled in at the 24. A final shot before break. Daniels. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the 2nd half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. First chance for the Commanders offense now as they head out for their opening series of the second half. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. The tight end in motion right. Second down and a run by Robinson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3 and out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they'd pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. 2nd and 10. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on 1st down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That is caught. And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll run this one right with Robinson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. This defense tough to run against. And those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Daniels. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 22-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
A 1st down throw for Daniels. This to McLaurin out on the left side. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
2nd down, Daniels. And it's caught. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Commanders have come back to make it a 2-point game. Well, you know, you can't get all the points back at once, but baby steps, a good start.
A start that was sorely needed because this team looked like they might be out of this one, but getting a touchdown, getting back into it, gives them hope as they move forward.
And now the Washington offense going to stay out there and go for 2. Daniels going to try and throw for it. And he'll get into the end zone, and those 2 points are going to tie the game. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And able to get this out to the 25. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game, all tied here in the 3rd as they have their first possession of this 2nd half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and 1. They'll give to Hall. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down. Well, when you time those screen passes perfectly, they can work perfectly, but that time it took a little too long to develop.
And you zeroed in on exactly what makes that play go, timing. Because if the timing's off at all, those unblocked defenders coming at the quarterback, they'll put him on the deck.
How to approach this. 3rd down and 16 yards to go. Now Rodgers. Open man here is Conklin. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Two 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. Throw right side, Wilson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And check down, complete to Hall. And he's taken down inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And the slot man goes in motion left. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Rodgers now to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Rodgers going to throw. And that is incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. Zerline's kick is up and through, and they will take the lead at 13-10. So a response there to the touchdown of the opening drive of this third quarter as they're able to reclaim the lead.
And I think you'll take that because obviously you'd like to be able to match them touchdown for touchdown, but the first order of business was to get the lead back, and they've done that. Now you want to give a good pep talk to your defense to take it from there.
After the made field goal, Zerline back out there now to send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. There's Terry McLaurin, such an exciting pass catcher as this offense comes out for their next drive. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good. But there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
You get hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way. It's a nice zone breaker right there. Take the tight end, move him out to the slot, then have him run a corner route versus the zone coverage, which means he's going to be behind the shallow coverage and ahead of the deep coverage, putting the ball right on him.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. 41 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
2nd down and 4. Toss play to Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Daniels. Buying time to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Commanders Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Daniels now on 1st and 10. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a 1st down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Daniels now to throw on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
He was trying to get that one out to his running back out of the backfield, but that one was read and timed perfectly, and they were able to break it up.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now Daniels. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup.
Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jamie and Sherwood. And the Jets are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone, I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious. So you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
New York's offense back out there and set to go. They get the crucial turnover, just huge, but now they've got the football deep in their own territory, and you got to be careful because if you give it right back, there goes your lead.
Have to be extremely happy with their defense. They received a gift. That takeaway, even though they're deep in their own territory, now they have the football. And you know there's always that alpha on defense, that grouchy guy. Forget what the coaches said. I'll guarantee you, he told the quarterback, we just took care of you. Now you take care of us.
Ball again on 2nd down. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
Washington on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Rodgers. His pass complete to Ruckert. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
On play action, it's Rodgers. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Two first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he's got his big tight end here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
On first down, Rodgers. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And again, it's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And the Washington offense going back to work. In a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly, but here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they'd better take advantage of it, because otherwise, if they end up losing by one score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away.
And the drive starts with a completion, left side.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They've got to go thank the guys on D.
This 2nd and 4. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. On the give, here's Robinson. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now, because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
To the air goes Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. To throw is Daniels. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
2nd down and a yard. On the counter, this is Robinson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to Robinson now on 1st down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Daniels looking to throw. And oh my goodness, what a catch at the 6. That's good for 28 yards.
I love the drive they're working on here, because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively, but they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Now 1st and goal. Working out of the gun, Daniels. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
On that snap, he's the hero of his defense up to the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Daniels. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. And the Jets are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's the guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
He was brought down at the 13-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and
8. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. To throw is Rodgers. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he will have a Jets 1st down, and that should just about do it.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
The Jets, with victory seemingly in hand, they take a knee. Rodgers will take a knee here, and that should be all she wrote.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art. but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. Charles, in these lower scoring games, you know it better than anybody. Points are at such a premium, but taking care of the football is king. They played turnover free from whistle to whistle, and they come through with a victory.
Yeah, and that's what won them the game, because even doing it that way, being that clean partner, they weren't able to really run away with this game. So that tells us just how important it was to make sure you played mistake-free football. That led to the victory.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we sign off from Lando.